Squid Game, the Netflix series that shocked the world with its brutal games, masked guards, and desperate players fighting to survive. The blue tracksuits, the numbers, the violence. It was terrifying, but somehow felt possible. And that led people everywhere to ask one haunting question. Is Squid Game based on a true story? The answer? Not exactly. But what if I told you something even worse actually happened in real life? In 1980s South Korea, under government supervision, thousands of innocent people were captured, imprisoned, and tortured inside a place called Brothers' Home. This isn't a TV show. This is real, and it might just be the darkest chapter in South Korea's history. The Brothers' Home was created during a time of rapid change. South Korea was preparing to host the 1988 Olympics, trying to show the world its modern face. But the government saw people like the homeless, orphans, and disabled as embarrassments, and they needed to disappear. One of the facilities used to make them vanish was Brothers' Home, a massive compound in Busan that promised hope but delivered horror. Most people didn't go there willingly. They were abducted, kids playing outside, teenagers staying out late, even adults who were simply poor.
Once inside, their heads were shaved, their names replaced with numbers, and they were forced to wear matching blue tracksuits. Just like in Squid Game, but this wasn't a competition, it was hell. Prisoners were forced into brutal unpaid labor, building, sewing, farming, working 12 to 16 hours every day. If they resisted or slowed down, guards would beat them with wooden clubs. Some were beaten until they couldn't get up. At least 513 people died, some from starvation, some from disease, and many from violence. Survivors claim the man in charge personally murdered dozens. Some bodies were sold for organ trafficking. The cruelty didn't end there. Guards invented games, not for fun, but for torture. In one, people had to stand still in painful positions for hours. If they moved, they were beaten. In another, a guard would yell, "Left indicator" or "Right indicator," and strike the victim's eye with a club just for amusement. These weren't punishments. They were acts of sadistic power. And the worst part? The government knew. Brothers' Home was funded and protected by the state. It existed to clean up the streets before the Olympics, to hide what they saw as shameful. These weren't criminals. They were people, and they were erased. In the late 1980s, brave survivors and whistleblowers came forward. The director was convicted, but most guards were never punished. Even today, many Koreans don't know the full truth. Unlike Squid Game, this wasn't fiction. This was real, and far more horrifying. Hundreds died, thousands suffered, and the world forgot their names. But we don't have to. If this story moved you, share it. Because stories like Brothers' Home deserve more than silence. They deserve justice. They deserve to be known.